Hi everyone, it's Deja. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I wanted to do a couple more craft projects that is on my craft to-do list. I did one about a month ago, and that was for my spring crafts. And this list is my July crafts. So I have a couple of things lined up here that I wanted to do, and I'm just gonna randomly pull them out and start assembling them. So for the first project, I have this little picture frame that I got from IKEA, and it's been literally in my craft storage for the longest time, and I really just want to use it. I do have so many of these, and you know, you can only have so many before your house is filled up with nothing but these type of picture frames. So I have about 4 of these in my home already with pictures of my 4 kiddos, and I wanted to use this for something else. So I thought that maybe I could put a little fun summer design here. And so it comes with like 2 pieces. This is the base, and you just twist it right on, and then it stands up like this. And then I have this piece. This is the protective, there's a protective film on, I think, either both sides or on one side. You do need to take them off. So what I did was I went ahead and I created this little fun design in Design Space. Well, actually, I didn't create this design. I found this image in Cricut Design Space, and instead of using vinyl to create it, I just thought, you know, why don't I just print and cut it out? And that's exactly what I did. So I grabbed a square and I sized it down to 4 inches by 6 inches for length, and then I put the image right here and I centered it, and then I selected both the rectangle and the image to flatten it so that it will print. And this is what my Cricut Design Space did. It printed it out, and then I put it on the cutting mat and sent it back through the machine, and the machine just cut a square through it. So I'm gonna flip it out to remove that. And now I just have this really fun design. Now you can definitely do so many fun things with this. You can use cardstock, pattern cardstock paper to create the background and then do vinyl on top, or you can do a fun background in the back and then put this image. Again, there's so many fun ways you can do this, but I just wanted to do something really easy but also still cute. I love this design, sweet summertime. So I'm gonna grab my little weeding tool here to just remove the little film. Okay, so it is on both sides. So we just have to slowly, gently remove this like this. Okay. And so your image is going to get sandwiched in between these 2 little acrylic pieces. All right. And this is just the original paper. So I'm going to add it like this. So again, the image gets sandwiched in between, and then you can go ahead and twist this on. It's super easy. And this could be a really fun idea for, like, if you're having a backyard party, a barbecue party, a graduation party, also any kind of party. You can use this for so many fun ideas. I just thought that this would be really fun on my kitchen counter, just to, you know, remind me of the sweet summertime. Yeah, here's our first project. Super easy. All right, so for my next project, I have these containers from Dollar Tree. I got these, I believe, from the bathroom section, and it comes with a really nice little silver lid like this. And then this can be used for so many fun things, but I'm going to use it to label some bathroom supplies that I have been meaning to do and I have not been able to do it yet. So again, these are just little projects that are on my to-do list that I've been wanting to do, and it's just been kind of piling up. So I will go ahead and do that. Let me just move the lids out of the way so that they're not in the way. All right, so what I've done is I've cut out some labels here. One, it says cotton rounds, and then I have the second one says cotton balls. My daughter and I, we go through a lot of cotton rounds, or especially me anyways. I go through a lot of these, but I do use cotton balls for quite a few things too. And then the third one is Q-tips. So let me just grab my rubbing alcohol. All right, so here's my rubbing alcohol. And I'm running actually quite low. It's almost time for me to refill it. So I am just going to move these to the side so they don't get wet. And then I am actually going to just spray all of them quickly. And you don't have to do the whole thing since I'm only putting on really one side only. I'll wipe them up. So I usually like to film in the daytime when there's really good lighting. For example, when the sun is bright and shining. But I didn't have any time to do that this week. So today happened to be the only day that I could film, and it is really dark. I live in Minnesota, and it's really cloudy outside. It rained for a little bit, and then now it's just really cloudy. All right, so I'm using Cricut transfer tape here, and I'm going to do them one by one just because I'm running out of transfer tape, surprisingly. For a while there, I had a lot of transfer tape, and then all of a sudden, I went through my stash and I was like, oh my gosh, I barely have any transfer tape left. So I'm going to need to order that soon. Alright, so here we have our first one, and I'm just using my cradle cup here to help me so that it doesn't roll off while I'm placing this on. And it doesn't need to be perfect, honestly. I'm just gonna try my best. I'm sitting down, that's why. Okay, let me hold it up. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Okay. I'm just gonna burnish it down so that it sticks down all the way. And then slowly remove it. And I'm gonna use this same transfer tape for the other two as well. All right. And all right, I had a little air bubble there. All right, and here we have cotton rounds. I'll put the lid on later. This font is a font that I believe I purchased from Design Bundles, but it's super cute. I think it's called Quartzside something. But as always, I'll be sure to link everything in the description section so that if you're interested in any of the font or images that I'm using in today's video, I will have it linked there. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's do cotton balls next. I just got back from family vacation a few days ago, and it was really fun. It's the first time in 9 years since my side of the family went on vacation, so that was really fun. It was different because my dad passed away a couple years ago, and you know, we're just really used to doing family trips, fun stuff with him, and not having him was a little different. But, you know, I'm still so thankful that my mom is around, and we had a lot of fun. She had a lot of fun, I think. Usually my mom doesn't swim, but she was, oh gosh, that one is super Cricut. But that's okay, because I should have just stood up. But that's okay, because this is going right in my bathroom, so it doesn't need to be perfect. The only people who might notice it is maybe my sisters. But again, this is going in my closet, so really it's not really going to be out in the open for guests to see anyways. So it's not going to really bug me too much. But if it really bugged me that much, I mean, I could just take it apart and recut the vinyl and reapply. But it's not too bad. Okay. And then last we have Q-tips. So as I was talking about my family trip, yeah. So I'm just used to, you know, having my dad there at most of our events. I think a lot of us are still grieving through the process. My dad passed away in 2022 from cancer, and it was really sad. As with any death in the family, you know, it's always going to be sad, and every family member is going to handle it differently. They're going to grieve differently at, you know, different stages after the death. And so not to make the family vacation sound all sad all of a sudden, but I just wanted to quickly share that, you know, while we had a lot of fun, you know, I think for me personally, I had moments where I thought about my dad, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad would have absolutely loved this, would have enjoyed, you know, hanging out with all of his kids and grandkids. And the fun and interesting thing is that my brother, my baby brother, and my sister-in-law, they were supposed to be induced the following Monday after we returned from the trip, but my little niece wanted to come so bad that she actually came. She was born on the day that we left to go on family vacation, which is pretty funny. So she is the cutest little thing. Okay, I should have done that. I should have angled it like this so that it wouldn't be so crooked. But all right, that's okay. It still turned out really good. So I have cotton rounds, Q-tips, cotton balls. These are going to go in a little drawer in my bathroom closet to store these, so that I don't have to try to squeeze them out of the packaging every time. I could just lift the lid up and it's ready to go. All right, so this is project number 2. I can finally cross this off my to-do list. All right, next we have this little fish home decor that I actually got from Dollar Tree. I want to say it was probably 2 summers ago. I saw it and I just thought, wow, this looks so pretty. Now, I originally had a different idea in mind for this. I originally wanted to put this behind a larger wood frame and then, you know, put it on there and then add like a little SVG design or something like that around it. But I don't know, it's just been kind of sitting around and I really want to get it out. And I just thought that I would create my own design, because I can't, sometimes, you know, you just go through Cricut Design Space or you go through Creative Fabrica or Design Bundles and you just can't really find a design that you really like. And I just wanted something really simple, but also very, you know, very unique. And so I decided to type this out. It just says, "Be a fisher of men." And this is based on a Bible verse from, I don't quite remember it, but I'll put it in the video. When Jesus was selecting his disciples, and he said to his disciples that he wanted them to teach them how to be fishers of men. So that's what this is, where the inspiration is from. These are just old transfer tape that I've had for a while. I used to be a hoarder of transfer tape, and I would just reuse them as often as I can until they look really bad, and then it's time to throw them away. So I can say I like to hoard them. All right, and then I didn't put anything on here. I'm hoping that this vinyl will just stick on. Usually for wood projects, I do like to put Mod Podge on it to give it something for the vinyl to stick onto, because sometimes it is a little hard for vinyl to just stick on bare wood. But I'm gonna hope that this would work. Okay. And this font is called Kinsley, and it's a font that I purchased from Creative Fabrica. It's a very thin, scripty type of font, so weeding it was not very fun. You have to be very, very careful because there's a lot of little intricate pieces that's super thin and small, especially if you're cutting something that's a little bit smaller. So definitely have to be careful not to weed too fast and not to remove the carrier sheet too fast. Okay. Ooh, staticky. Okay, so I might have to angle this a little bit. I'm not gonna clean the surface because you don't want to wet it. I'm just gonna trust the process and hope that this sticks. All right, I'm gonna have to stand up for this so I can see you. Oops, sorry, that was me hitting the back of my drawer. Okay, let me just see how that looks. All right, I think that looks okay. I'm gonna lay it down, and then I'm gonna use my scraper tool to really burnish it down. I have found that sometimes if something doesn't want to stick all the way down, you just have to really burnish or press firmly while you're rubbing the vinyl down. Okay, and so I guess this part is lifting. We can come from this part and just do it really slowly. So like that little piece right there does not want to stick down yet. So just gonna go back and really press hard on it. Okay. And then you just want to do it really slowly, because again, I don't want any of these little fine small pieces, the parts of that F wants to lift up. Okay. Slowly. And this is just gonna go on my bookshelf, I think. I think it'll look really pretty there. Good reminder to myself. Okay. All right. Really slowly. You can use your fingers too, but I like this scraper tool, which is so much better. Okay, we're almost done. Again, moving slowly. The worst thing you could do to yourself is, you know, rip the vinyl and then you have to recut it all over again, weed it all over again, and then apply it on. There you go. That was successful. You're all done. And look at that. I think that's so cute. Be a fisher of men. And I suppose if I wanted to put the Bible verse, I could too, but I know where this reference is from. And, you know, if I had a visitor that came to the house and was wondering, I think this might be a good conversation starter too. You know, maybe someone who isn't familiar with the Bible might be like, well, what does that mean? We can definitely talk about that. That's really cute. And it just stands up like that. And again, I think I'm going to put this next to my bookshelf in my living room. It's not really a bookshelf, but it kind of is. And yeah, I think it'll just be a really, really pretty decorative piece. All right, let's move on to the next project. All right, next I have this little makeup toiletry pouch that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Oh boy, I want to say probably about 2 years ago. And I actually made this design about a year ago. It was supposed to be part of another video and I never got to it. And it just got pushed and pushed and pushed. And I'm like, you know what? Why is it sitting in here? Let me go ahead and take it out and work on it. And you know, I actually am not really a fan of this pink pom-pom. So I might actually just cut it. I know. It's cute, but it's not really my style. So I think I just like the little gold zipper and that. So I'm gonna toss that. That's okay. When I bought this, it was only $1, and I know I am losing like a little piece here. So I'll add something to this to make it a little bit easier for me to grab. But I'm making this for myself, so I just did a really simple monogram I'm gonna put on here. Let me see, which side do I like better? I feel like I'm right-handed. So to me, it's easier if I zip this way. So I'm gonna put it right here. All right, so this type of vinyl is requires strong transfer tape. I'm not going to use that because I have learned from my experience that if you use strong transfer tape on this kind of background, you are gonna leave a lot of sticky residue on the pouch. And I'm telling you this because I have done it before and it has left sticky residue and I have had to toss a project before. So I really do like this vinyl, and it requires strong transfer tape to actually lift it out or lift it up and transfer it over to the surface that you want it to. So I'm not going to do that because this is a monogram. I am just going to clean this with rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to use a tweezer to manually pick it up and put it on there so that I don't ruin this piece. All right. I don't have a picture of reference, but if you trust me, I will just tell you, if you trust my word, just know that if you use strong transfer tape to transfer this over onto a surface like this, it will leave a ton of a ton of residue on there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my tweezer and I'm gonna start off with the M, the middle piece. So this is for me. I've had this in my I have had this here forever, and I've been wanting to just get rid of it. Actually, this is pretty sticky, so maybe I might just use my hand. To lift it up. Okay, without ruining this. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to find the center. Okay. And then you can go in and pick up this other one. And this vinyl is actually very, very strong and sturdy, which is why I like it so much. And I also like that it's gold. I love gold vinyl. If you didn't know that about me before, now you do. I love gold foil, or I keep saying foil, but I meant like gold vinyl in general. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. It just makes everything more elegant, more beautiful looking. I like it more than I like white vinyl. Okay. Oops. Oh, so I told you this vinyl is very, very strong. So I want to be careful I don't rip that. Okay. I'm going to just line it up as best as I can. This piece right here got a little bent, so let me just do a little bit of fixing that up a little. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, there you go. And we have it. I'm just gonna press it down. This is very, very sticky adhesive vinyl. So if you wanna use it, just use it with caution, and just know that this type of vinyl does require, again, strong transfer tape to carry it over. And when it sticks to a surface, I mean, it is sticky. It is probably the most permanent vinyl I've ever used. So, you know, it's pretty hard to take it off unless you're really trying to take it off. But all right, I got my little toiletry bag. This is just cute for, you know, shampoo, conditioner, you know, really small things that you want to carry with you. And it just looks like that. Really cute. All right, I can finally cross this off my craft to-do list. Let's move on to the next project. All right, this is my next project, and I've had this for a really long time too. Probably 3 summers now. And you might remember from my last video, I used to shop and craft and buy stuff like crazy. I have gotten away from that. I'm trying to not spend so much money on craft supplies. So actually everything you see in this video today are things that have been in my craft room for over a year. And I really just need to make them. So anyway, my idea for this is I wanted to put this out in my garden. I have this beautiful garden that my husband made for me a couple of summers ago. It was his Mother's Day gift to me. He and I, we both love flowers, we love plants, we love vegetables, we love planting all sorts of things. I don't really have a green thumb, but my husband does. He's really good at remembering to water plants, remembering to, you know, water the things. I forget, and sometimes I, you know, don't remember what to do with all the stuff. So I thought it would be fun to kind of create something fun like this. Our vegetables and our flowers and strawberries aren't really in the correct direction, but that's not really the point. The point is just to put this out there to make it look really cute. So my husband, he loves strawberries, so we do have a strawberry garden. Most of it has been picked already for this year, which is okay. And then we have flowers also. So I wanted to do something like this just to kind of like show the different things that's in our garden. Again, it's not really about what's really there, but it's just to kind of add a little cute touch to our garden. We do have strawberries, and we do have flowers, and we do have vegetables. Yeah, so I'm just going to, I think I'm going to put strawberries on the top. Let me see if this transfer tape is long enough. And if it's not, I can add to it. Okay, I have a little extra piece here. Just add that on top. Yeah, my husband, he loves planting things. In my garden right now, what we planted so far this year is, so we have strawberries, which most of them already came up. It's a battle every year with the animals that come into our yard. Sometimes it's so funny, but I love watching my husband chase birds and, you know, little squirrels and bunnies away. But we do pretty good with growing them, my husband. I know the first few years was kind of rough because we didn't really know what we were doing. Well, I should say he didn't really know what he was doing. And so he's been gathering chicken poop from our family cabin because my mom raises chickens. So he's been picking that up and bringing it home to put in our garden. And he's been doing that for the past 2 years. And it's actually really been helpful in producing good strawberries. Now, I'm not going to clean the surface. This type of wood, it does have like a little finish to it. I don't know if they put like a glossy coat of something on it, but I'm not going to put clean it or anything like that. I'm just going to trust and put this on top. All right, let me just pick it up so I can see it. Okay. All right. As you will notice, my strength is not centering or putting things on straight. I try to, but that's okay. All right, so we have strawberries. So my mom also used chicken feces to put in her garden as well, and we have very, very good vegetables that grow at the family cabin, and that is why my husband was adamant about collecting a bucket of it and bringing it home. And surprisingly, it has been very, very effective in growing our strawberries. Okay, so I'm just going to do this very slowly again because I don't want anything to lift. And if anything does lift, again, just put the transfer tape back down, and then I'm going to keep burnishing it. Okay, that little dot, I want it to sort of lift up. All right, so we have strawberries. Oh, that's so cute. All right, I'm gonna do, for visual purposes, I'm gonna do the flowers in the middle. And then let me just remove this little piece for a second. Okay. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, are you a gardener? Do you like to plant things? And if you do, what kinds of things do you like to grow in your garden? Besides strawberries, we also grow green onions, we have cilantro, we have basil, we also have mint leaves, and then for vegetables, I love tomatoes. And so my husband and I, we always have tomatoes. We also love carrots. Last year we were very, very lucky when we harvested our carrots. They were huge compared to every year that we've planted them. They were really, really big, and I love to harvest our carrots, and then I like to chop them all up and put them in my chicken noodle soup. We love soup as well. So that's what I do with our carrots. We also like to plant peas, and I like to cook the peas in soups and hot dishes. So I'm from Minnesota, and we love to use the phrase hot dish. If you live in other parts of the country, you might call it a casserole, but in Minnesota, we love to call it a hot dish. So that's what I like to do with my peas. And then we also plant cucumbers. And cucumbers, honestly, it's a hit or a miss. I feel like some years they come up really good, and then some years like nothing at all. And same with our pumpkins as well. I feel like some years they come out, and then some years nothing. So it's kind of a hit or miss with pumpkins, but we try. All right. Let's see. We've also planted lettuce before in the past. Lettuce grows quite easily, I would say. So we do plant lettuce. Trying to think of other things that we've planted. I think we've tried corn. That was kind of funny. I think we had one grow one year, and that was about it. Can you imagine trying to grow a ton of corn in the backyard? I don't know about that. But we've had sunflowers before, and those are really pretty. Okay. I think that looks all right. So I know I'm making my garden sound really big, but it's not big or anything. It's just enough for us to be able to plant stuff that we can harvest in the fall or early in the summertime. And it's fun. My husband loves it. He enjoys gardening, and I enjoy watching him enjoy it. I think that's kind of what moms do. We enjoy watching our kids having fun and enjoying things. So, and I forgot to mention, yeah, we have a bunch of different types of flowers in our yard. We have tulips in the front yard. We have a variety of hydrangeas. I think I'm going to pronounce that wrong. I usually pronounce that wrong, but I think it's pronounced hydrangeas. And then we have just a bunch of other flowers I don't really know the names of. All right, and that's my garden story while I'm doing this. So here is a little fun sign for my garden, just for fun. You know, the strawberries are kind of out of season now, or most of it in my garden is picked up. But we still have flowers and we have vegetables still growing. I just thought it'd be really fun to kind of throw that in there to add some cuteness to our garden. All right, let's move on to our last project. All right, for our last project, I have this cutting board. Now this is one that I did not purchase, but I know that it came from Target because you can just kind of tell. But I actually got this from my sister. She had a garage sale about a month or two ago, and this is one that I purchased from her. She was selling it for $1, and I'm like, I love it. I also have another one from her. It's right here. I'm going to save this for another project for another time, but today I wanted to do this one. These are so cute for decorative reasons. I wouldn't use this to cut food or meat or prepare food. I mean, I think you can. Let me see. But it's really meant as a charcuterie board, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I like to use things like this for charcuterie, but not necessarily for like crackers and meats and cheese, but more for like, you know, cookies or cupcakes or just something really fun that you want to just not make a big mess. So what I've thought about doing here is just putting something really easy like this on here where it says sweet summer treats. And again, my idea for this is maybe putting cookies or little muffins or cupcakes on here for my kids as we bake during the summertime. So that is what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to try to reuse this transfer tape, and then after all of these projects are done, I will toss it out. Okay, let's see, do I have enough? I might not have enough. I might or I might not. Okay, barely. I have just a little bit of here. that's left, but that's okay. I think this should be plenty. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this over. And this is the font by Kinsley as well. I've used this in one of the projects earlier. Okay. All right. So thank you to all of you who left me a kind comment in my last video when I posted my first, video where I'm recording in real time and I'm not doing, voiceover. Thank you so much. I went back and I thought about how I can improve and what I can do differently. And yeah, I just didn't want to beat myself up too bad, but I definitely thought about ways I can improve to be more engaging. And that was, one of them was to stop walking away while I'm talking, because, my voice, it doesn't capture my voice as I'm walking away or if I'm rambling and stuff like that. So I just wanted to be a little bit more mindful that I'm near my recording equipment. All right, so I'm gonna put it right here because I don't want to put it in the center. I want to be able to put food and stuff on here, so I don't want to cover up the little cute saying. But definitely you could do so many things with this. You could put the designs on the corners, you could do like little flowers, you could put it in the middle, you could just put it on the top or on the bottom. But for this one, with the idea that I had in mind was just to put treats up here on the top, I just wanted the phrase to go on the bottom. I am not going to clean this with rubbing alcohol. This does have sort of like a sealant on it, so it's not completely like bare wood where it's like fresh and there's nothing on it. I do feel like there's something on it already, so I'm just gonna trust and not put Mod Podge or anything like that on there. Again, also because I'm planning on serving food or little things on there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to angle this for more towards the bottom. And I'm just gonna eyeball it, honestly. That's what I do a lot. I just eyeball things. But you can definitely take out a ruler and measure the difference between the sides to make sure that it's completely even out. I just like to eyeball things out. Now, if I was doing this as a gift, I would definitely want to be more precise, and I would want to make sure that things look really, really good. But these projects are all just for myself, for home. So. Oh, it's been really hot here in Minnesota. But if you notice, I usually wear long sleeve shirts because I craft in our family room, which is sort of in the basement. It's kind of cold in here. Because when you have the AC up, if you turn it off, then everywhere else is hot. But then if you turn it on, then everywhere else is cool and nice, and then downstairs is cold. So that's why I'm always wearing a little cardigan or sweater or something like that. Just because I don't want to get cold. Okay, so I do not want to stick down very well, so I think I need a burnish. I really, really love this font. I just, don't always like it when I'm doing final projects like this, because then it's hard. It's so small that, these little pieces want to come off. Okay, so again, you just want to go really slow. So you don't want to accidentally lift anything up. And if anything does lift up, you can kind of just press it down. And I just want to move really, really slow. I don't want to accidentally rip any of the intricate pieces. Sometimes moving slow is the key. If you're moving too fast, you're just gonna ruin your projects. And nothing feels more defeating than, or more defeated than ruining a project. Almost done. We're like halfway through. Halfway through. Woohoo. Just keep pushing. Just keep going. Reminds me of Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right, we're almost there. All right, we're almost there. And we are done with this transfer tape. This transfer tape has seen better days. All right, so here we go. And you know, obviously with little things like this, if it gets dirty, gentle hand wash only. You don't want to put this in the dishwasher. You don't want to wash it with any abrasive sponges or anything like that. You just want to gently hand wash and just slowly rinse this so that it stays on here for a very long time. And this is the last project, Sweet Summer Treats. All right, everyone, thank you so much for crafting with me today. Here's a little recap of all of the things I made in today's video. I definitely crossed off some more things off of my craft to-do list. I still have quite a few projects left to go. Let me know also in the comment section if you would like to see a part 2 or another video of me crossing things off of my craft to-do list so that I can tackle some of these projects. All right, with that, I thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Bye.